gonna make this bunny rabbit. I have some tasting bunnies here. So first bunny just made from scrap fabric I had. Everything on needle still. Then I made this guy first, or girl. I put hands stitched inside. Didn't like so much, didn't like this dart over here. So those my first few bunnies, and after a few adjustments I got this one. So we will need paper pattern, body, head, legs and arms, body, back and ears. For the fabric I got a bunch of Tilda cotton from Canadian store. The name of it is Tilda doll fabric sand. I also have this one. I think it's just Tilda cotton. So I'm thinking to make girl from this one and a boy from this one. For ears I might just use the same fabric. If I would have lighter pink, maybe I would use it. And these colors we're gonna use for maybe different type of animals. So I'll start from this fabric. So first we need to iron it. So after you iron it, let's cut out pattern. So we need 4. So I have a ½ meter over here, and my fabric is doubled. And I'll start from here. So 4 of those, then face, back, front is 1, 2 backs, 2 arms or 4 pieces, 2 legs or 4 pieces, and ears. So now we can start cutting. I'm going to use few pins so my fabric stays together. But I'm not going to pin this, so I remember I don't have to cut 2 of those. And let's start cutting. So now again we have body, arms, face, legs, head, back side of body, and 2 ears. So now let's start sewing. First step is to sew all small pieces. So we will start from ears, legs and arms. So let's move to sewing machine. I'm taking these 6 pieces and moving to sewing machine. Now when all your parts sewn together, I also stitch back, middle side of the back of the head, and the front line of this one, and I also did the back piece as well. Now I'm gonna disattach all parts. So again, this is the back of the head and this is the front of the head. You can see a different shape of the pattern over here. And body back part is here. So now if you don't have pink shears, you can just make like little notches all over around sides of the fabric. You don't have to do notches everywhere, just curved parts. The straight parts is fine, but I'm gonna cut it anyway just because it's fun. And same we're doing with legs. Just make sure you don't cut your thread. And the arms. I'm going to leave this seam straight because my fabric is a little bit see-through. So instead of having a zigzag on the other side, I'm just gonna have like a few millimeters of straight line visible. So now I'm gonna use hemostats. It's my favorite tool for turning, and I'm going to turn my all pieces we just stitched together. We're going to turn right side out. Make sure all, like everything is nice and turned, so you don't have like fish lips. Fish lips, it's when your fabric is kind of like on top of each other, like this. So you don't want to have it on any of your pieces. Same we're doing with ears. Try to do real good job with ears because we're not gonna stuff it with anything. So you want that part is really nice and flat. Like if on this pieces, you know, you can have some imperfection, but we're gonna stuff it so it's gonna be like nice and round. But for ears, try to turn edges like really nice. You can even push it with your fingers a little bit on the curved side, so it will be easier for you to iron bunny ears. And same idea with another ear, try to make it nice and flat. And now we're going to our iron. I'm going to open up the seam allowance, so you can help yourself with your fingers, kind of push it a little bit. So when you do it with your iron, it's easier for you. Same over here. Another tip for next step is I'm actually going to iron it on my test bunnies, but if you don't have bunny like that, you can just use a towel, just fold it together, make it round, and place it on the towel so you can iron easier. Now when we ironed all parts, you can put legs and ears on the side, and we're gonna attach head to the body. So our face is a little bit have like different shape, so make sure you put face to body and back head to back body. So put with right side together, pin head to back, make sure you open seam allowance here, and do same with the back pieces. Make sure your seam allowance is open on both sides. You can use two pins together, and we're going to straight stitch head to body, both pieces. Now when it's done, you're going to cut threads and go to iron and open up seam allowance and iron as well. You can make few notches on the head side. Alright, the next step is iron it open. So after ironing, we're gonna put both sides of the body on top of each other with the right side together. So we're gonna pin it from one side and we're gonna stitch it as well from this side all over the head, down here, and we're gonna leave this side open. Make sure you line up neck seam back and front so it didn't move, and put few pins here, then match middle seams of the head, pin it as well, maybe one more pin in the middle of the head, and repeat same for the other side as well. Neck seam to the neck seam, one pin in the middle, one pin at the bottom, and maybe one pin over here, like so. And now I'm going to stitch it, as I said before, all sides except bottom part. So now when you do this, cut excess threads at the bottom, and I'm gonna use again pinking shears, and I'm gonna cut all the way around. Like so. And also I would do few little snips around the neck. Just be careful not go through thread. Make sure your fabric is not folding inside. You can give another iron at this step. See, like here, maybe I didn't give enough snips, so I'm gonna get back to this side. Cut it one more time. Also, I'm going to iron it and put it on the side. So this part is ready. Ears almost ready. Now we're going to stuff legs and arms. So what I'm using for stuffing is a pillow from Walmart, soft touch pillow. They're about $4 Canadian, probably cheaper in US, and I find this is the cheapest way you can do for your money, because all stuffing in the craft shops are really expensive. I actually already started one. It's everyday comfort pillow, all sleep position, easy care, machine washable, hypoallergic, all stuff. So what I'm doing, I'm taking a piece like that, and you don't really want to stuff it this way. You actually have to do some work. So maybe other stuffing would work better. So if you have different stuffings and you're happy with that, go ahead. But I find for me this is the way to do it right now. Now I'm gonna use chopstick. So I'm taking a little bit of stuffing, open up arms, you can work on both arms, so you will know that you put exact amount in each one, so one arm is not bigger than another one, so you won't have the same stuffing in both arms. So we're almost there. You can move it around a little bit. You can also use the needle and kind of move a little bit. Just make sure it's not ruining your fabric, because I know I'm gonna iron it again later and the small holes will go away, but just be careful if you're doing that stuff. So our arms are ready. We're gonna put them on side, and we can do same with our legs. So now you have two legs, so you want to tuck stuffing inside, and then you want to line up middle seams together and pin a little bit lower and line up seams, and pin one more time over here. So same for this leg. And now we're going to sewing machine to make 2 stitches on top of the legs. So now when it's done, so one more thing, when you stitching it on sewing machine, just make the stitch a little bit less than your seam allowance, so it's less than 1/4 inch, because you want to hide this stitch inside of your body. So this is just for our convenience to put legs inside of the body. So next thing is, we're gonna take our body and we're gonna attach legs to body. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna make sure this round part is facing front and this facing back, and I'm going to put one leg close to side seam allowance and pin it, another leg close to another seam allowance and pin it as well. And I'm going back to sewing machine to attach these legs to one side of the body, just to the back side. This still stay open. So now I'm back from sewing machine. I'm going to cut excess threads on both legs, like so. And now you could do it actually with hand stitching, but I like to do stuff on the sewing machine and I don't like to hand sew. I do as much sewing machine steps as possible. So next step is, we need to fold front seam allowance and line it up with the back. Here you're doing 1/4 inch seam allowance, so you want to tuck it all inside. See, this part doesn't want to do, so you can actually open this seam allowance so you don't get too much of thickness. Fold it in. You open up back seam allowance too. Fold it in. Cover it with the front body. You're gonna pin it here. So if you're happy with what you see, check your back part as well. Looks like it's fine here. What I would do at this step, actually gonna do basting stitch to hold this together, because you don't want to do it few times. See, like this part. So we're gonna fix this part with hand stitching. So make sure you're happy with your front and with your back. You can iron it if you want, but I don't think I'm going to iron. I'm just going to press it with my fingers, and I'm going to straight stitch the bottom. just, it's almost like top stitching on this side, close to the edge, but make sure you get all layers together. So now when you're done, cut threads on both sides. Also, when you did the top stitching, don't forget to do back stitching on both sides, so this part stays together. Take out your basting stitch as well. Alright, now when I'm happy with my stitch, it's time to stuff your bunny. So, same idea like I show you with legs and arms. We need our stuffing. I'm gonna break it on the small pieces like this. Actually, for the body you can make pieces a little bit bigger than for arms and legs, something like that. And we're gonna start stuffing it from opening in the back all the way in the head. Slowly we're going to fill this body up. I'm gonna use favorite tool, chopstick. So we're still a long way away from what we want to see. It's gonna be a lot of stuffing going in. So what you want to do, like with your finger, make sure you open up seam allowance inside and didn't fold. Like in my case, you see, like it's going, I can see it here, but on this side it's moved to this, to the left. So I want it nice and open. So you can first do it with your finger. It just doesn't want, around nose place, doesn't want to stay like that. You can use a little bit of stuffing to hold it in place. So you can see, you start to see some shape of, you see the shape of the front head. Make sure you put in all the way around head. You don't want to have wrinkles like this, so make sure you use your chopstick and with a movement like this, kind of stuff it. Make sure it's nice and even inside. Like here I can feel it's still empty, so you can also help with yourself with a needle, kind of push it out, but be careful with, you can have some holes in, so you'll have to iron it after again. And more stuffing. Push some up front, on the sides, at the back. You can see like here is a still empty space inside, so you can add a little bit more stuffing. So we're kind of getting there, but we still want more. Like you can help yourself with your hands, kind of move stuffing around. Push it again with your stick back. So push all stuffing towards your seams, like this. And so you're almost done with your head, so it's nice and firm. Now you can start slowly fill the body as well. So this is how your bunny started to look like. I had to cut this video into 2 parts. Please find the rest of this tutorial on my channel, and it's part 1-2 of 3. Thank you and see you in next video.